just go completely off the rails this week. Is that your camera?
I don't know.
That's my camera. You should just look at that one. I'll be looking at this one.
Welcome to another episode.
How long does it take you to edit the YouTube video? Let me be honest. How long? No, that's not bad.
I mean, if we don't,
I'm like,
if we
that's
don't
like
put
an
stuff in
8-hour process to me. I'm like, good night. Seems hard. Well, I mean, you got 3 cameras. And
Bro, can we record the show?
That's the only thing that takes.
That sounds incredible. This is already, we've already been recording all this. This is the beginning. This is how it happens every week.
I'm about to start action. Welcome to another episode of the Nothing and Everything podcast, where we talk a lot about nothing
and a little bit about everything.
And today's show
is
going to be wet fire. Wet fire?
What?
No cap. These are.
I need you to explain
I don't
both
know.
of those terms.
These are things I hear kids say.
Wet fire?
Wet fire.
So that means it's not good?
No, that means it's so good, it's fire even when
like
wet.
Elijah and the prophets of Baal.
Oh,
You see what I did there?
You had to.
There's a little Bible juke there for you.
Just went church on
Wait,
us.
what was the other one?
No cap.
No cap. Like no cap locked on the keyboard? What are you talking about, no cap?
No cap would be like saying no lie.
Like no lie.
No lie.
What does cap
Like
come
if you
from?
say, oh, cap, that means you lie.
Cap.
That's
But
what-
what is
that's
cap?
what-
Is it short for something? Is it an acronym?
Hey, bro, I don't know. This is just what the kids say these days.
Wet fire, no cap.
Yeah.
Cap? No cap.
No cap.
Oh, okay.
No
I like
cap.
it. All right, Gerald,
Yep.
what's going on?
Not a lot.
I'm excited about today's episode.
I'm excited too
seriously.
about today. You know, let me start off by saying, since we're talking all fresh jive,
Fresh job like it's that
Fresh
seat on
jive.
an airplane.
we should bring the word jive back.
We could solely be responsible.
So
I'll be like the old white woman on the airplane who translates. Do you remember that part?
wasn't that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar she was talking to? Or
He was
that
in that
later?
movie.
Was that
Remember,
later?
because he was flying the plane.
Oh, that's right.
And he
that's
started
right.
pulling off his clothes
That's
and he
right.
had a Lakers outfit and all of a sudden he had glasses on. Man, I love that movie.
So yeah, we should bring the word jive back. If someone says something crazy, be like, "Oh man,
Oh,
you talking
jive
some jive?
turkey?"
You jive talking turkey."
I don't think it's going to
I think it could work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see how many people this week in our normal lives were out on the street, maybe at the grocery store, in the line at the Chipotle. Who says to you, jive or jive talk? Based on our listenership.
Oh boy.
If we want a personal in-person response. I mean, if you want this thing to catch on.
Let us know you're listening by
Wet
going,
fire. Yeah.
"Hey man, you guys are talking jive on the
Jive.
show today."
Jive talking turkeys.
Jive talking turkeys. Anyway, with the socials, the social medias is where you pick up a lot of that kind of slang and a lot of that kind of talk.
It's hard to keep up with.
It is hard to keep up with. You know, I got to give a little shout out to someone who gave us some great advice.
Yeah?
I've got a friend. Her name is Addie Blasi.
Oh, whoa. First and last name.
First and last name.
Yep.
Addie, this is your shout out.
You
right
know who
here.
you are.
She listens to the podcast, which I was actually surprised when she told me. So she was like, "Hey, I like the podcast." I was like, "Wait, which one?
Well, yeah,
which
which one are you
podcast
talking
do you
about?
like? Ours? Oh, okay, that's great." And then she says, "You know, if you guys put those little reels," she's talked about reels,
Yep.
and why?
I do know what a reel is.
I said it like two syllables. Reels. Reels. And the shorts, like the YouTube shorts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she goes, if you put those on TikTok, you guys will go viral. So I was like, well, Austin was there with us.
Yeah, Austin,
when
our
she
producer.
mentioned that, our
Yep.
producer, who is currently.
Would you like to describe the scene, what we see?
I don't know that people are ready for that again.
It's allergy season. We'll
It's
just say
allergy
that.
season. Yep, he must have been outside.
That
messing.
hay fever is acting up.
He's like a farmer, you know that, right? So
Yeah.
he does he messes with like bees.
Is he a
and
farmer or a homesteader?
You just went like Oregon Trail on me. I
Yeah,
don't
seriously.
know. I don't know the difference.
More homesteader.
He's more
see?
homesteader.
All right,
so
good.
he's got some chickens and ducks and stuff and bees. So maybe that's why his allergies are going
Seriously.
crazy over there in
He
the
needs
corner.
to get some of that Local honey.
He's got the double stuff going on again.
The double stuff.
So
Like he's an Oreo.
anyway, so Addie suggested we go TikTok because we'd go viral.
Yeah.
And so I said that to Austin while we were eating lunch yesterday, and he was just like, "No, I don't want to put TikTok on my phone." And I said, "Why?" And he was like, "Because that's how China gets all your information." And I was like, "Man, China can't catch a break right now."
Seriously.
But evidently, TikTok was created to steal people's information, and all these kids are like, "Look, watch this video."
Hey, look, here's my bank account. Here's my social security
yeah,
number.
right there you go. So we're
So
happy.
wait, are we going? Wait.
So I'm happy to announce we are going to go.
Oh,
We just got to find a random,
somebody who
iPad or something like that that's just out there that we can, put something on there. It's not linked to anything.
I'm looking forward to going viral, whatever that means.
It's gonna be great. We were at Jason's Deli having lunch, and I don't know if you know this or not, but when you go to Jason's Deli after you finish your meal, they have like the little soft serve ice cream with the cone in the corner.
I've heard. Yep.
And it's fantastic. I
Yep.
love that ice cream there. It's kind of an understood rule that you should only take one, right? You bought one meal, you get one free cone.
Does it say that?
It doesn't say that anywhere. It just says
Kind of a gentleman's
free.
agreement.
It's kind of one of those things
Yeah.
where you're just like, I paid for one meal, I'm
gonna have one ice cream cone. Yeah.
And besides, like, how many ice cream cones do you need?
One.
One.
Two.
One is within reason.
Yeah.
Austin has like 6. So I'm like, Austin, I don't think you're supposed to eat this much ice cream.
He was
at
like,
Jason's
it
Deli.
says free.
He's like, there's no sign that says that. I said, well, I mean, I just told you. And he's just like, that's that young generation,
That's
man.
disappointing. Yeah.
That's them youngins today.
Seriously. Wet fire.
Yeah, no cap. He's looking at me going, you're talking jive.
Just wait. What?
I don't know.
Jive.
Jive.
Here we go again.
Jive.
With the jive talk.
Jive. I'm just saying. So,
What's on the docket for today?
well, so there's a trend,
Oh.
another trend on the socials.
I mean, we're trendsetters.
We are trendsetters.
Yep.
But there's this thing called, you ready for this?
Yep.
It's something that started in South Korea around 2010.
Yep.
So these are,
Your people.
well, partly,
Yep.
shout out to my mom, South Korea, Seoul. Yeah, there you go. So it's called, let me get this right. Mukbang.
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 See, you've got that. You can pull it off. I don't even want to try. Mukbang, something like that.
In America, people call it mukbang. Is that right?
Mukbang?
Is that right? So what that is
Like a hashtag mukbang?
like people just have like some sort of a show.
Yeah?
And they just eat food.
Maybe that should have been what?
So I think today
Yep.
we need to eat some food, and I've been waiting for this episode.
Yep.
Because we are partially sponsored. Partially sponsored?
I mean, we're sponsored today.
We are sponsored today by
Episode number 8 of the Nothing and Everything podcast. It's sponsored by Carrie's
Confections.
Give her a little shout out.
We have macarons today.
Oh, look at
And
here.
I feel
all you
like we
people
just
on
went
the-
like View on everybody.
We review? Oh, wait. If
Like
we're the View,
The
who are
View.
you? You're Whoopi. I'll be Joy Behar because nobody wants to be her. So
Why am I Whoopi Goldberg?
It's just the first one that, because you're kind of older, like Whoopi.
Is that right?
Yep.
What else? Kyle?
Because I can't think of anybody else's name.
Fantastic.
Would you care for a macaron?
I kind of don't want anything from you right now. But I do want a macaron.
All right, so let's talk about these.
All
We
right,
got
you
5 flavors.
Okay.
Okay. These have not really been introduced to the world yet, but Macaron Madness, March Madness is happening right now.
Yep.
We got the Sweet 16 coming up. They're going to be launched this next week. So you can go to Instagram, Carrie's Confection, both with a K. Follow my wife, but she's actually sponsoring the show today. Have you ever had a macaron?
They look familiar.
They're a little,
It's like a little oatmeal cream pie.
like a Little Debbie, basically.
Did I just mess that up?
Yeah, that was offensive
Okay.
to all the French pastries of the world.
Sorry,
So we got
French
strawberry,
people.
salted caramel, lemon, chocolate brownie,
Mm.
and salted caramel Oreo.
Oh, nice.
So You can go on her website. She'll be launching these soon, but they are here for our mukbang today.
Or mukbang.
What do you? I haven't had this one. The
That
salted.
one looks pretty good. Are you gonna
caramel.
eat that?
Wait,
You're gonna eat it right now?
I thought that's what a mukbang was. Can we eat it and talk about it?
Well, actually, you're right.
Should we wait?
Well, the problem is I don't want to hear any
That
of it.
misophonia is coming out, isn't it? I think that was trending the other day. I saw misophonia on something unrelated to us, and I was like, I'm a better person now because I know what that is.
My palms are literally sweating right now. I'm like, I don't want to hear you.
Should we cover up the mic? And
No, I mean, I can still
do
hear
you
you
want to
without
eat
the
it or
mic.
not?
I mean, I do want to eat it. This is,
Well, we're going to eat it, though.
we're at a standstill.
I'm going to do it. This
Go
is
ahead.
the salted caramel Oreo.
Salted caramel. I'll have one as well.
Can you hear me?
No.
It's so good, though. I'll be honest.
That's really good. It's sticking to the back of my teeth. Is that
That's
good?
what it's supposed to do. Supposed to be a little crispy on the outside, a little chewy on the inside. Look at that. Delicate, yet sophisticated.
This was really good. Since your nose is plugged up over there, you won't be able to smell it, and your olfactory will be all. Did you what? What is?
Oh, wait. I got it. That's the problem. I'm not going to eat 5 macarons in the course of 30 minutes.
This is a shared plate.
It is.
That's like double dipping right there.
You double
So-
dip the chip.
Anyway, so you can't have any of these because you won't be able to taste them.
Poor thing. Because he can hear it. That misophonia is out of control right now. Oh, misophonia is crazy. I feel like I have to finish the whole thing now, which I don't mind doing. It feels a little gluttonous.
We should probably talk about what we're doing
Yeah.
because people are just gonna be like, they're just literally.
If you're
just
listening
eating.
to us, on Apple or Spotify, you need to go to the YouTube and check out what these look like.
Yeah, because they look great. They're like mini sandwiches.
They are mini sandwiches. Yeah, it's basically a ham and cheese sandwich is what we're eating.
We're eating ham and cheese, ham and cheese macarons.
Go ahead.
It's really good. These are really good. You know, I'm glad they're here today because if I had
That
to take
bite was unbelievable.
if I had to take these home,
Yeah.
I would have to hide them.
From your children?
I got 2 boys who eat like horses, and so, yeah, I would never have food if I didn't hide.
Like,
food
do you
in
actually
my-
have to hide the
I
food?
literally hide food. The other day, my wife made, you know, those little sausage balls. Love those things.
Yep.
So she made a batch, and Ron King is calling me right now.
You think he's watching live?
Shout out to Ron King.
Yeah. How about we not answer that live
Yeah.
on the air?
So anyway, so
Gerald!
is that your Ron King?
It was not a good one,
Oh,
but
okay.
I have one.
So I had to hide them behind like some food in the fridge so I could have. There were 3 left, and I was like, because my kids eat them like
You
crazy.
just hide them like behind something so they hopefully can't see it, or do you like put it in a completely? You put it in the Takis bag or something
It
like.
depends.
Yep.
Whatever works. I gotta hide food.
I thought you meant like you're hiding, like eating it, like.
I do that too.
I've done that too.
But
yeah.
you got a lot of kids, so I mean, how do you do that?
I mean, there's always like dad's in the bathroom or dad's taking like half an hour to do the laundry. So I'll be like upstairs folding the clothes, but you can also be doing other things to take your time, have a snack,
I was like, what are we
listen
talking
to
about
the
right
Nothing
now?
and Everything podcast.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
there
just
you
talking
go.
about like trying to hide from your family. I have been busted before, so my wife bakes. I have been busted before, like she's got it down to a science where like if she has an order, she makes it to the exact number. And I think in my head, you got to build in a couple of extra. So there's gimmies in there. So there's been a couple of times where she'll be like, "Did you eat a cookie or something?" And I'll be like, "Maybe." And then she's like, "Well, I had exactly 12 and I need 12. Now there's 11."
So you don't get to have like a lot of this kind of stuff.
It's rare. I mean, she'll try some stuff out, but like people think, "Oh, I just got, brownies and cupcakes and
right.
cookies
That's what I
sitting all
think.
around the house," and they're not. I mean, she makes an order, it goes out the door. So
You know, my wife is real good about making food for other people.
yeah,
So, someone has a baby or someone's, sick or whatever, she's just really good about
Yep.
making food for other people and stuff. And so I'll always know she's making food for someone else when there's like some really nice dessert that she's
Ooh.
made
yeah.
and it's leaving the house.
It's not even for you. Man, that's a great looking key lime cheesecake you got there.
That sounds actually gross.
Oh.
But she'll make these like not s'mores, but it's like a like salted caramel cookie brownie bars,
I think that's what we just had, but different.
and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those always leave the house. So just one of those things.
Sorry about
just one of
that.
those things. Yeah. So
Kids, stop eating our food.
stop eating our food.
Seriously.
Get a job. Anyway, my hands are a little.
You got one that has a job. I got one that has a job.
Yeah.
But that ain't paying rent or buying groceries.
Right. Their job pays cookout. Miles, his money goes to cookout.
He's going
And-
to that premium gasoline right now, too.
And premium gasoline
Woo!
and the Nike store.
Oh, my word.
He buys a lot of
Can't
shoes.
even afford that.
It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
Mm.
So, recently at church, we've been kind of somewhat back to normal. I guess
we've
back
been-
to like 2019 normal.
Yup.
And so
Feels good.
Yep. It does feel good. It feels good to just kind of be able to be with people, be around people, and those kinds of things. And what I've noticed is that people are no longer doing the fist bump.
Oh, boy.
So,
Here goes the misophonia and the germophobia coming out in you.
yep. So, it's just strange.
You
So-
prefer a pandemic to a non-pandemic.
Well, I prefer some pandemic things,
Right.
like
Like what?
like fist bumps.
Yeah.
The elbow thing was weird because it's like just
I still have a
awkward. It's
couple
like,
people that come in with an elbow, and I'm like,
No,
we ain't the
elbow.
Bash Brothers. This is weird. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, I got reference for date. Bam! A little shout out to Jose and Mark.
and Mark McGuire.
But what I have noticed is that, like, I'm still like, especially with, I'm around a lot of kids, so I'm usually not high fiving or handshaking.
Right.
So a lot of fist bumps. But then, like with adults, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. But I kind of glance down and look, where are we
Right.
going? And sometimes you do
Right.
the turkey,
Mhm.
and then, but people are back to the handshakes.
Well-
and that's probably not good for a person like you.
And, well, I mean, it's not terrible. Yeah, it is. It is bad. But what the really awkward part though is when you go for the fist bump, and then they're going in for the shake, and then y'all both switch at the last second, and then now you get like
You
the
had it, but then
little turkey or the
yeah,
the,
you gotta yeah.
what's the other one? The gear stick or whatever, and so it's
So
crazy.
we should just put an ultimatum out there. What are we? Are we handshakers? Are we fist bumpers?
I'm still fist bumping.
Yeah.
I'm still fist bumping. Like, there are times where we're in the lobby. So after the last song, I kind of slip around and I come out to the lobby just so I can, say bye to people and stuff like that, talk to some friends, whatever. But typically when the doors come open, I don't know that people are expecting someone to be standing there. So that's when they walk out and sneeze or cough or whatever.
Everything they've been holding in.
I watched a guy one time, not at this church, at another church.
Yep.
A guy walks out and is just like wiping his face,
Oh, my
and then walks
goodness.
right up to me and puts his hand out, and I was like, I can't do it.
I've seen kids
I
do
just
that all
can't
the
do it.
time. Like sneeze and be like, hey, Pastor. And I'm just like, yep.
Yeah.
We'll
so
hold off on that.
so instead of like going in for the handshake, I just slapped his hands like, no, give me a hug. So I hugged him because I was like, I'm not touching that hand.
Are you a hugger?
I mean,
Over a hand filled with mucus. You would choose a hug?
I would choose a hug.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know if I'm a hugger or not.
I'm not
I don't
really a
know.
hugger. I mean, it's got to be quick and
Yeah.
in and out.
Whatever. It's what it is. So I think the best part of the pandemic was the fist bumps.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold on to that.
The last
It's like the
lack of
mullet.
social contact.
I'm just gonna hold on to it.
Oh,
It's like the cutoff tee.
be
You know.
honest. Did you ever have a mullet?
Did I have a mullet?
Yeah,
I had a
be
mullet.
honest.
My
Really?
mullet was flowing, yeah, but mine was like a legit mullet. Like, didn't we talk about this already?
Did we? Never mind.
I had a mullet and I cut it to a rat tail.
Oh, maybe we did. Did you braid a rat tail?
It was braided a time or
No.
two. That's that South Korea coming out in me. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, man. I was, and then actually, that's the '80s. The '80s kid coming out of me too, because I would braid it and then like break dance.
Did we talk about the breakdance thing?
Can we talk about breakdancing? It's like the original pop and lock, Everyone's
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Oh, check out this dance I made up." It's like you didn't make that up.
I remember breakdancing kind of coming out when I was like, I probably would have been like third or fourth grade.
Yeah,
I mean, so this would have been late 80s,
yeah.
middle late 80s, and I was, I didn't have a clue what was going on, but
Yeah.
it just looked
It
awesome.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I had like a piece of like
You have cardboard?
flooring that I could take with me, linoleum,
Flooring.
big boom box.
Did you ever walk around with it on the shoulder?
Man, yeah.
Listen to what? Like the Run DMC, Sugar
Run
Hill Gang?
DMC. Yep. Listen to some Cool Mo D,
Ooh, Cool Mo D.
the Wild Wild West.
The Wild Wild West.
Yep. Listen to some.
People have no idea what we're talking
People
about.
are just like, "Yep, you've lost us." Addie, she's a college kid. She's like, "What are y'all talking
What are
about right now?" So it would be the equivalent of
oh, I don't even know what the equivalent is.
who's out right now. Like we were listening to like Snoop the first time through, right? Like you know how y'all are listening to Dre, that one song that he plays. Like now it's like, oh hey, check out this new song. It's like new song
not
came with
new.
us.
No, seriously.
Song ain't new. Anyway,
I think it's time for another macaron.
oh, you going in for round 2?
Well, we gotta
The
gotta
lemon.
mukbang it twice at least.
Lemon.
Don't you like lemon
macaron.
flavored stuff?
I do like lemon flavored stuff, but not lemons. We learned that already. Yeah. Let's talk about
Oh my goodness,
this past. Is that good? Is that good?
that's really good.
So
You can hear it, can't you?
I can hear it.
I'm gonna just let it dissolve in my mouth. Go ahead. This past weekend, what'd you do?
Man, we had
It was a big weekend.
huge weekend. Okay, it's called CLT weekend. And it was like
You know, the lemon curd is dripping out.
whoa.
That's good. I'm telling you. You didn't like that, did you?
Everyone in America just heard that right there. Everyone in America just heard that. Did you hear that, Austin? He's got on headphones back there, so he hears it like right up close.
I want you to hear how good it tastes. Come on.
I could taste it from here.
For real?
Anyway, CLT weekend, our student ministry, our student pastors are great,
Yep.
and we had a huge event. We had a couple other churches show up to kind of do the whole weekend with us as well. But it's the traditional D Now weekend.
Yes, the artist formerly known as D Now.
The artist formerly known as D Now.
Yep.
And so CLT weekend was fantastic. So I got to lead worship there, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. You know, it's I've led worship at a lot of D Now.
So D Now is a little bit different. I mean, it feels different than like a Sunday morning,
Right.
even camp a little bit. It's a little more campish. But like, you've led worship in a lot of different venues and
Yeah.
locations and like events. Like, you don't have to rank them, but like, what's your favorite? I mean, we love Sunday morning, obviously.
Sunday morning is always good, yeah. But you can kind of let your hair down a little bit more.
You can let your mullet down a little bit.
Let your mullet down. Let the mullets just fly on a weekend like a D Now or even like a camp kind of
Yeah.
feel, because it's just a lot more relaxed.
Do you have any like that stand out to you in like your 20-ish years, 20 plus years of leading that you're like, that was? I remember like preaching and teaching one time. Like I like kind of the non-traditional venue. Obviously we love Sundays and being in front of our church. But like I've preached and taught at like homeless shelters and like stuff that like you don't know what's gonna happen. I think
right.
that's why I enjoy doing stuff with kids and stuff like that, because like I like the unpredictable,
Right.
the unpredictability.
Yeah.
I remember one time we had this was in California, and I must have said something that a guy liked, and he came up on stage and gave me a high five.
On stage?
Yeah, like right in the middle, like this was, and was like really excited about what I said.
You won't do that Sunday.
I won't do that Sunday, but it didn't bother him at all, and I was like, yes, I love this.
You remember that one time that kid ran up on stage
Oh, yeah,
down at the Harris?
that went viral.
The Harris campus.
At the Harris campus,
That was awesome. Yeah. So I don't know that. Like when an event is really fun and good and all that kind of stuff, that's great, because you kind of expect that, like you want that
Yeah.
to happen. For me, it's the bad ones that stand out.
Oh boy.
It's the time, like I led worship at a D Now weekend, and we were like, I mean, they were super excited to have us, and so we loaded up. I had an RV back in the day and a band, and we just kind of loaded up and.
You had an
went
RV
places.
back
I had
in
an
the
RV,
day.
man. It
Oh
was
my
a
goodness.
1986
What?
28-foot Ford Midas.
Goodness gracious.
We actually drove through Charlotte one time.
Do you have pictures of this? Can we
No,
put pictures
I
up?
have no picture
that'd
of
be
it.
awesome.
We drove through Charlotte one time on our way to West Virginia to do a weekend deal, and we lost a hubcap on 77. So
So if you find that hubcap,
if you find it, please return it. Anyway, so we showed up at this venue, and we were in like this gym, okay, which is not terrible, whatever. And I have this little, it's called a rider, So it's like, hey, here's our needs, like our technical needs, kind of thing. So no,
We know
it's,
what a rider
it's
is,
nothing
but
fancy. It's just
for
so
the-
it's just so they can know
what
like
you need in the green room.
there was no green room. Okay, the green room
the back of the RV.
The green room was the RV. Sit out in the parking lot. Anyway, so I sent a rider. So well, we never got it back. So I was like, okay, well,
Oh boy.
yeah, I sent it, so I assume they have it. Whatever. We get there, not a thing, not a sound system,
Nothing.
and we didn't bring one.
Oh boy.
So we were literally
what do you
running.
do?
We were running through the church trying to find stuff, and this was like a church. It was like pretty old church.
Yeah.
They had they did not have a band. They just had like a piano on Sunday and a choir. That kind of no orchestra, no nothing. And so we were literally digging through closets, and we found like old amps. Like I literally plugged my guitar up and tried to play it, and it like shocked me. Like I see the current going, And so I played my acoustic guitar through an electric guitar amp, and I sang through a microphone. They had one microphone and one speaker in the far corner of the
boy.
gym. And so that's how I literally sang through that. And man, I mean, it was bad. It was bad.
I had one where I was doing a summer camp, and this was the first night. First night's real high energy. Band's gonna come out. They've got the video like elements and all that stuff, and it was kind of like this old chapel, but it's kind of long, and the countdown had been playing, and you're backstage, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome," and something happened like right before. All the sound went out. The lights were still on. All the sound went out. So no mic, no band. And they had to play like and they're like, there was 600 people there. They're like, you're going to have to preach with no mic. And so I was like, well, I've been accused of all my life of having a great outdoor voice. My voice carries. And I was like, I felt I was born for such a time as this. So I had to do like just that one night. But I was like, this is my moment to shine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it was cool. I mean, the Lord worked it out, and it was good.
Yeah. No,
It was a fun time. But so CLT weekend, I had a kid there. You had three.
All three of my kids were there.
What anything kind of stick out as far as there's
Actually,
a lot going on. So.
speaking of countdown.
Oh boy.
So there was.
I heard about this.
I think it was it Saturday night? The countdown for Saturday night. Saturday night countdown. It was like 3, 2, 1 or whatever, and then all of a sudden the Little Einsteins song came on. You know who the Little Einsteins are?
I know who the Little.
Okay, so the Little Einsteins come on, and like we haven't heard the countdown yet. Okay, so like the band, we're up on the stage, and we're waiting for 3, 2, 1, and then we could start the song, start the service or whatever. So we hadn't heard the countdown yet. All we heard was, hey, you'll hear 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then this bass drop, and then start. All right. Well, it turned out that within that countdown is Little Einsteins, and so students are funny because like they can love a song and they might sing with you and they might not.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Now, typically at a big event like this, they'll jump in and sing with you and kind of go crazy. But sometimes they don't. They're reserved, so they're like, I'm trying to be cool in front of whatever, so I'm not going to sing whatever. So you never really know if they're going to sing or not. Well, and then most of the songs we played are fairly new, so we're trying to bring some new songs in or whatever. And so they're kind of learning the songs, and but then Little Einsteins came on. And everybody
the beat dropped, and they went.
I mean, they were like standing up.
That's
like,
probably
kids
what they were
like,
watching though when they were.
Like this, and I was like, what is this? How do you do this to Little Einstein? Like,
we're going on our trip in our favorite rocket ship.
Little Einstein.
Were people like shouting it like little,
like screaming it?
Whose idea was that? I mean, that's pretty funny. I like it.
So, and then we go into the next song, which is King of Glory.
Yeah.
And kids are like,
can you play that Little Einstein again, please?
What is it? Hey, play the intro again, guys.
That's terrible.
Run it back. Yeah, but no, it
King of Glory.
I don't know. Just speaking about the Lord and all of His majesty, the King of Glory. And,
we like the favorite rocket ship.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, hey, I asked my kid, hey, what's something you learned or what?
Yeah.
They had this really cool intro with the Little Einstein. I was like, oh man, that always seems to happen too.
Yeah.
Like
for me, it was like, hey, so what was pretty powerful this weekend? Man, we did the church clap. I was like. The church clap. That's fantastic.
Which is good, but maybe not the only takeaway I want my kid to have.
They were doing a church clap one time, and this little girl who comes to our campus, she looks up at me, she goes, Pastor Gerald, come do the church clap with us. And I was like, I'm going to roll an ankle.
Yep.
That ain't going to happen.
You'd pop the hip out of place.
Speaking of, the very last song, there's like this instrumental break, and so Melissa, who is at our Harris campus. She's got a great voice. She sings with us as well, and she was just like, let's just go out on this last song. I was like, all right, yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
So we hit that instrumental break, and I turned and I looked at her and I jumped one time, and when I landed, like I kind of, and I
Jimmy
started
leg.
thinking, I was like, man, if I fall down, I'll never hear the end of it. So I had to stop jumping.
We should find footage of that. We can
No,
probably see it.
there's no footage.
I bet there is.
There's no footage.
I bet there
there's
is.
no footage. So anyway,
Old people like us, we got to be careful jumping those days, you know.
You got to be careful jumping. Period.
Cracked my
Anywhere.
calcaneus, and you
Your
just
what?
about. I broke a bone in the bottom of my foot a couple weeks ago.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I looked it up. I mean, that's what the doctor said. Calcaneus. A
Calcaneus?
fractured calcaneus. Anyway,
Sounds terrible.
I'm all better now. Mostly, 90%.
Yeah. So you definitely got to be careful with all of that.
CLT weekend was a good one, though.
CLT weekend was a blast.
I'm very thankful for our student leaders,
Yep.
staff, and volunteers. It was incredible.
Yeah, and it was all like in house. Like typically,
That's cool,
you know,
yeah.
like people bring people in or whatever, bring in a band, bring in a speaker or
Yep.
whatever. But we,
And
you know,
none of that.
our band was the Harris Creek Band, which is
Ooh.
Harris Mallard Creek put together. Harris Creek Band.
Glad y'all put some of those. Y'all must have made another order for some glasses.
I think
Because
there's
those
just
are
leftover.
hard. Really?
Leftover, yeah.
Those are hard to find.
They
I use
are
them to
hard to
weed eat at my house. Those are my safety goggles.
So anyway, and then like you know, Pastor Kyler spoke at it. Did
Yep.
a phenomenal job. Yeah, so it was great. Pastor Clint also gave a little. He did a
breakout, didn't he?
breakout session.
Yep.
Yeah, with the guys.
That was good.
So I did hear that there were a couple of people in there
Yeah.
who were paying attention to the Carolina game that was actually going on sometime that afternoon. I don't know exactly
Oh,
when,
man.
but sometime that
You know-
afternoon
you know who you are.
they were watching a Carolina game. So are you keeping up with the March Madness at all?
You know, I didn't do a bracket or anything, and I mean, I knew there was some big upsets.
I always fill out two brackets, Carolina all the way in one of them.
We've heard this. Carolina.
Yeah, and then the other one is
But they're in the Sweet 16, though,
a
right?
little bit more realistic. Yeah,
do
I
they
actually
play
have
next?
them going to the Final Four. They
Do you
play
really?
UCLA next. Yeah,
Speaking of Sweet 16,
nice.
yeah, that's a nice
little
segue.
Nice segue.
There'll be a segue. There'll be a Sweet 16 release this next couple days, I think,
That sounds
for
good.
the Macaron Madness.
I'll have to submit my.
You can vote online. That's the thing. You can vote on Instagram.
Oh, there you go. Well,
She'll have them paired up. You know, what do you like better, lemon or strawberry?
oh, nice. I'll have to
Something
eat the
like
rest
that.
of them and figure it all out. So,
Yeah,
but that
seriously.
first one I ate was fantastic. So maybe you can taste it because of his weirdness when he was eating it. That's disgusting.
Sorry about that.
All right. Well, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
That was a great show today.
It was fantastic. We had absolutely
Fantastic
nothing.
show. We had nothing. But for 30 minutes, we were
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
stretch this out.
Yeah,
It's
you're welcome,
fantastic.
people.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and maybe we'll listen to Addie and go on TikTok.
Yeah, we'll see you on TikTok.
Yep, where all of our
What?
identities can be stolen.
Information.
Information. See
Bank
you guys
accounts.
later.